Alpha, what the mega?
Yeah,
Maybe I'm a code.
Daboko, my parking at my journey.
Also, I'm parking ahead. Okay. And to let you know, we're going to be yeah, train other
Okay,
question on my journey.
okay.
So she what operation
Yeah. Yeah. Hello. Good afternoon, class.
Hello, good afternoon,
sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah. Please, can we start?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. So, well, today basically we are looking at ports infrastructure and the superstructure as well. So we are going to consider the port infrastructure and port superstructure. So we know that our previous discussions, we were able to touch on how best the ports could help us as a nation to gain competitive advantage where we have the right infrastructure and superstructure to help the ports to be more effective and efficient. So where we are more efficient and effective, it means that we other countries may even be willing to do business with us, because when they come to Ghana, they get things done fast, and then they move on. So I was actually discussing with you a situation in Gambia that even when their people are importing and then they are also exporting, they prefer using Senegal ports rather than the Gambia ports, because they know very well that in terms of efficiency, Gambia ports is not efficient, and that is actually fighting against them. So today we are looking at the things that we need to help us to be able to be more efficient and effective as well, so that the ports can gain the right competitive advantage that we are expecting. And at the end of the day, we can expand, create more jobs, help the economy to grow, and then Ghana will continue to be a better place for us. All right, so when we talk of the ports infrastructure and then the superstructure, they are the two main fundamental components that is actually determining how efficiently a seaport can operate. So we need the two, the infrastructure and then the superstructure, to help us. So the infrastructure is actually looking at the basic structures that is actually supporting the port's operations. So the basic structures that we are going to build permanently to help or to support the port's operations. And then when we talk of the superstructure, we are looking at things that are actually facilitating, or it refers to the operational facilities and equipment that we are going to install or installed on top of the infrastructure to help the ports to handle the cargo and then do other services as well. So this is telling us that indeed we need the infrastructure and we need the superstructure as well, so that the ports can function, can deliver the service very well. Okay, so so the infrastructure and then the superstructure, we are saying yes, they are the two fundamental components that is actually determining how efficiently a seaport operates. So they represent the physical and then the operational facilities required for handling the ships, the cargo, and logistics activities. So let us now look at the port infrastructure. Then we'll look at the port superstructure. Okay, so the port infrastructure refers to the permanent and basic physical structures that is actually supporting port operations. So these are usually what long-term investments constructed by government or the port authorities. And this is forming the foundation upon which the port activities take place. So we consider the key components of port infrastructure, and one has to do with the harbor basins that we have. So the water areas where ships build, they anchor, and then they maneuver safely. So that is the harbor basins. We have the channels and then the waterways. We have the breakwaters. We have the quay walls and belts. We have the road and rail connections, land reclamation and port terminals. So these are ports what infrastructure that we are talking about. Then we look at the port superstructure. So the superstructure refers to the operational facilities and equipment installed on top of the infrastructure to enable cargo handling and port services. So when we consider the key components of port superstructure, we have cranes, warehouses and storage facilities, container terminals, yards, cargo handling equipment, administrative buildings, and information and communication what systems. So cranes, we may have the gantry cranes, mobile cranes. So these are used for loading and unloading containers and then the bulk cargo. And then when we look at the warehouses and then the storage facilities, they are for temporary storage of the goods. And then the container terminals and then the yards are the areas where containers are stored and managed. And then we have the cargo handling equipment, like the forklifts, the conveyors, then we have the reach stackers, and then the straddle carriers. Then we have administrative buildings where we have the offices for customs, port authority, and then the ship companies. And then we also have digital platforms used for tracking cargo and coordinating logistics. That is the information and communication systems that we have. So that is the ports infrastructure and then the ports superstructure for us. So when we look at the key differences between the infrastructure and then the superstructure, here, in terms of meaning, the ports infrastructure is referring to the basic physical foundation of the port. But the port superstructure is looking at the operational facilities built on the infrastructure. So in terms of ownership, usually for the port infrastructure, the government or port authority will own it. And then for the superstructure, often private terminal operators. And then when we look at the nature for the port infrastructure, we consider long-term and then permanent structures. But that of the port superstructure, equipment and facilities, that can be what's upgraded. So when we have cranes, we have a forklift, and we think that, oh, they are no more efficient or they are outmoded, we need to bring in new ones. So we can just upgrade the latest versions will come to help us to work very well. So when we look at the infrastructure, we may have the breakwaters as an example, the channels, and then the belt. But that of the port superstructure is looking at the cranes, warehouses, cargo handling equipment, and all that. Yes, so that's it. Any question, or we can continue? Then we look at the belts, the quay walls, the container terminals, the main components of a container terminals, functions of container terminals, the storage facilities and warehouses. Then we can look at the types of storage facilities in ports, functions of port storage facilities, types of the cargo handling equipment, and then the functions of cargo handling equipment. Okay, can we move on? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. So when we talk about the belt, is a designated location in a port where a ship is moored or secured for loading and unloading the cargo or passengers. So it is the operational space where vessels remain during port water activities. So when we look at the key characteristics of the belt, we could see we have the depth of water, that is the drafts. And then we also look at the length of the belt. So here we look at the size of the ships that can dock. And then the mooring facilities, we include the bollards, fenders, ropes used to secure the ships. And then for that of the cargo handling facilities, often equipped with cranes and other equipment. So when we look at the types, we have the container, the bulk cargo, oil and liquid, and then the passenger belt as well. Okay, so then we have the coil walls. So here is a strong retaining structure built along the edge of a port or harbor where ships can berth. So it separates the water area from the land area of the ports and provides structural support for cargo handling operations. So the functions, it is providing a stable docking surface for ships, retain soil and land behind the port area. It is also supporting cargo handling equipment such as cranes. And then it is facilitating efficient transfer of goods between the ships and then the port terminal. So we have the common types as the gravity, quay walls, sheet pile, quay walls, pile supported quay walls. So when we check port like Takrady and all that, they are all having it for bulk cargo operations, what efficiency sake they have it. Okay. So when we check, we see that the belt is actually the docking space where the ship will moor, but the quay walls is a structural wall along the waterfront. So when we look at the functions, the belt is allowing vessels to load and unload the cargo. Whereas the walls are actually providing the docking edge and supports portward operations. Okay. So when we look at the picture over here, we could see how they've designed the port. So we see the walls, and then we also see the belts that they have created. Yes. Okay, so I think this one too can help us to see it very well. Okay, so we look at the container terminals that we have. So a container terminal is a specialized facility within a port designed for the handling, storage, and transfer of containerized cargo between ships, trucks, and railway systems. So the terminal is designed for the handling, storage, and then the transfer of the containerized cargo between the ships, trucks, and then the rail system. So it plays a central role in modern maritime trade by ensuring the efficient movement of standardized containers across the global supply chain. So container terminals are common in major seaports such as the Port of Tema, which serves as Ghana's main hub for containerized cargo and international shipping. So we will consider the main components of a container terminals. So when we look at the main components of a container terminal, we have the belts. These are the docking space where container ships are moored for loading and unloading operations. So they are usually equipped with the ship to shore cranes. And then we have the quay cranes, which are serving as ship to shore cranes. So they are the large cranes installed along the quay walls used to lift containers from ships to the terminal or from the terminal onto ships. Then we have the container yard. So it is an open storage area where containers are stored temporarily before being transported to their final destination or loaded onto vessels. So when we look at the first three main components of a container terminal, we have the belts, we have the quick cranes, we have the container yards, and then we also have the transfer equipment. So these equipment are used to move container within the terminal, such as maybe the straddle carriers, ridge stackers, rubber type gantry cranes, and then the terminal tractors. Sorry, a minute, let me. Yes, I'm in the office. Okay, so please check the room for me. F2. Okay, thank you. All right, sorry. So they are writing my paper and I need to go and then invigilate it at 2 o'clock. So quickly, let me finish it up with you so that I can also attend to them. All right, so then we have the gate complex, we have the container freight stations. So these are the main components of a container terminal. And then we can look at the functions of a container terminal. So when we look at the functions, one, for loading and unloading containers from the vessels. Two, it is also serving as a temporary storage of containers. Three, transfer of containers between the sea and land transport. And then for inspection and customs or clearance of cargo. And then 5, tracking and management of container movements using information systems. So this is an example for us to see how we have our container terminals. Some ports actually design their container terminal, so we can see. So when we look at it, yes, they can, for the loading and unloading, for temporary storage, transfer, inspection, and customs clearance, and then tracking and management of container movement. Yes. So that's it. So we look at the storage facilities and then the warehouses. So the storage. Yes.
Yes, sir. So this is Randolph.
Okay, Randolph.
So, so please, I want to know what if, let's say, I've ordered things from China or any part of the world, and it has come to Tema Port with the container. Let's say I've ordered nobody's goose is part, only my goose, either 40 feet or 20 feet container. When the container comes to Tema Port and I'm going to take my goose, please, would they give me with the container to send, or if it happened for a truck to bring it to me with the container, are they going to return the container back?
It depends your terms and conditions with the supplier. Where we were working with some suppliers in China, and then when they bring the container to us, it could be in our yard for maximum of 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, when we fail to return, we will start paying for it. And then there could also be an arrangement that you may need that container. So you have to arrange with a supplier. And then in terms of billing, probably they will also consider selling that container to you. But if they are just bringing the container for you to offload your items, they bring it to your premises, you have to make sure you are removing your things and then you give the container to them so that they will take it back to the supplier. So it depends the arrangement that you will have with your supplier. If it is something that you are negotiating for them to also give it to you, then they can. And we have people that are also selling containers here. So if you think you want to buy, then you also have to buy. But when they bring it and per your contract, the container is not part, you have to make sure you only offload and then you give it to them. And then they will take it. So in our place, the suppliers were giving us just 2 weeks. We can just put the container in our yard. We keep it for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, we have to make sure we are sending it to them. And even that one, if after 2 weeks we don't send it, we have to bear the cost of transporting it to them.
Okay, sir. Thank you,
Yes,
sir.
you are welcome. Right. Thank you. So we look at the storage facilities and then the warehouses. Yes. So the storage facilities and then the warehouses are quite important components of the port superstructure used for the temporary holding, protection, and management of the cargo before it is transported to its final destination. So they ensure that goods are stored safely and efficiently while awaiting clearance, distribution, or further transportation. So when we look at Tema and Takoradi ports, they use various storage facilities to manage different types of cargo moving through their terminals. So we look at the types of the storage facilities in ports. And then types, we have the general warehouses. So these are enclosed buildings used for storing general cargo such as manufactured goods, machinery, textiles, and then packaged products. They protect goods from weather conditions, theft, and damage. And then we have the transit shelves. So transit shelves are located close to the quay or belt and are used for short-term storage of cargo during loading and unloading operations. So they facilitate quick movement between ships and inland transport. And then we have the open storage yards. So these are outdoor areas used for storing large or heavy cargo that does not require protection from weather, such as steel products, timber, vehicles, and maybe construction materials. So when we continue, we also have container yards. So these are specialized areas where containers are stacked and stored temporarily before delivery to customer or loading onto vessels. And then we have specialized storage facilities. So some ports provide specialized storage for specific cargo types, such as maybe the cold storage warehouses for perishable goods like fish, fruits, and then pharmaceuticals. Then we have the tank farms for liquid cargo such as petroleum and then chemicals. Then we have the bonded warehouses where imported goods are stored before customs duties are paid. Okay, so quickly we look at the functions of port storage facilities. And then one is for temporary storage of goods awaiting transportation. 2, protection of cargo from damage, weather, and theft. 3, facilitation of customs inspection and clearance. 4 is for consolidation and distribution of cargo. And 5 is to improve coordination between sea and inland transport. So we see an example of a storage facility. Yes, a warehouse storage facility for airports. Okay, so when we talk of the cargo handling equipment, it refers to the machines, tools, and mechanical devices used in port to load, unload, move, and store cargo efficiently. So this equipment facilitates the smooth transfer of goods between ships, trucks, trains, and storage facilities, thereby improving the productivity and efficiency of port operations. So we know that Tema ports and Takoradi ports, they rely heavily on modern cargo handling equipment to manage large volumes of international trade. So we look at the types of cargo handling equipment. We may have cranes. Cranes are among the most important equipment used in port to lift heavy cargo between ships and then the dock. Examples include the ship to shore, that is STS cranes. We have the mobile harbor cranes. which is flexible cranes that can move around the port. And then we have the gantry cranes used to move containers within container yards. And then we also have the forklifts, which are small vehicles used to lift and transport pallets and small cargo loads within warehouses and storage areas. And then we have the reach stackers. So the reach stackers are specialized vehicles used for handling and stacking containers in container terminals. They are capable of lifting containers to several watt tiers. So the types, we also have the straddle carriers. These are large vehicles that lift and transport containers while straddling them, commonly used in container yards. And then we have the conveyor systems. So we use the conveyor belts over here for moving bulk cargo such as coal, grain, cement, or minerals efficiently from ships to storage areas. Then we have the terminal tractors, so also called yard trucks, and they are used to transport containers within the ports, between the belt storage yards and then the warehouses. So the functions of a cargo handling equipment, one is for loading onto ships or loading cargo from vessels, transporting cargo within the ports, stacking and then organizing goods in storage areas, and then improving efficiency and reducing manual labor. So we look at the crane types in ports, and then the ship to shore, the STS, the mobile harbor crane, the porter crane, and all that. So we've treated port infrastructure and then superstructure, where we were saying that they are the two fundamental components determining how efficiently a seaport do operate. So the port infrastructure, we discussed it very well by saying that it is a permanent and basic structure that supports port operations, and then the port superstructure is looking at the operational facilities and then the requirement that is the equipment that is installed on top of the infrastructure to handle and then also help the ports to be able to handle the cargo and then other port services. So we considered the infrastructure, the belts that we have to have, the walls that we need to build, and then also the superstructure. We consider the container terminals, the main components of container terminals that we need to have, the functions of container terminals that we need to have, then the storage facilities and warehouses, types of storage facilities in ports, functions of port storage facilities, types of cargo handling equipment, and then the functions of cargo handling equipment. They are writing my paper at 2 o'clock. So if there is no question, I think I will close for today. God willing, next week we have time to discuss other issues as well.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
The strain, is it the strander cutter or something like that? That one of the machines.
Yeah, the types of the cranes you are talking about.
Yeah, this particular one and the strander cutter. Or is it carrier or what? I'm not seeing it well because of the where the name is.
Is it the first one?
No, you see the second row, the last one.
It's straddle carrier.
The
straddle carrier.
Yeah, that is the straddle. Yes, that is the straddle carrier.
So that one, how does it carry the container?
Oh, it's very simple. I don't know if Randolph, do you have one?
No, sir, I don't have one. No.
You don't have it.
No, sir.
Which one?
This is
Randolph, the straddle carrier. Don't you have one at Temaport?
Oh no, this is the namesake. This is not the Dansu.
Sir, we have two Dansu Randolph here.
No, I'm asking if Randolph. Okay, I'm just asking if he's there and
he has gone off.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sir. Please, I'm here.
Do you have one at your place so that at least we organize for a site visit?
No, this type, no.
You don't have it, eh?
The straddle we don't have, but the other,
Okay.
we have all the others, but the straddle, no.
Okay. All right. So I think we will look at maybe the mining companies. They may have one, because we were using I think the one that we were using was quite a very nice one at the mining area. It will just come, lift it, and then put it down for us. And when we also load it, and it will just come. And then so where we don't have it, then we need to use the mobile crane or the tower crane. And sometimes one has to climb and all that. But when you have this one, there's no need for you to even climb the track. And then so I think they don't have it, so there's no way you can see it. But that is how come we are saying it's a superstructure. So what it means is that some in other jurisdictions, they are having it and they are using it. So if you don't have, then it means that the efficiency we are talking about, we need to make sure we are getting the latest ones that we have in the system, and it is going to help us. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, you're welcome. So they are starting at 2. So if there is no question, can we close so that I'll go and then invigilate small.
Okay, sir.
Okay, classroom. So I'm going to share with you, God willing, next week we will meet. Thank you. Because of that, we couldn't have cases for today, but next week we are going to treat cases. Yes.
So next week is going to be on site.
Okay.
It's going to be in person.
Okay.
Next week is face to face.
Oh, next week is face to face, eh?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So classroom, please, you check and then you confirm.
The next week is Salah.
What Salah? Salah is today.
Salah will be Friday. Is it going to be Sunday?
Salah is today. Okay.
The Salah will be next week. Friday will be holiday. But Sunday, I think we can meet on Sunday, oh?
Yes, sir.
So I'll be on standby. So if anything, you just have to let us communicate so that at least we know what to do. But we need to meet face to face. Then you know ourselves. That one too is very important.
Not all of us.
Okay. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.